On my way to school, I get a text from Monica explaining that there's no club today. Apparently, she and Sayori are using the time to prepare tomorrow's big surprise. So after school, I head straight to the address Natsuki sent me to check out her potential location. So, what do you think? I inspect the building. I wonder if we'll actually, like, we'll probably see some type of, also, when it's, like, changed. But I wonder if it's this particular background that will change. Or if it's, like, going to be a new background to show, like, what the finished, bakery will look like. Inspect the building. I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I tried to find something intelligent to say anyway. You're right about the windows. They'll definitely get a lot of natural light in. Natural light is good, right? It is! But also, the windows are like facing I mean, that's something you, of course, look like. I don't think they would. I don't think Natsuki would even kind of consider it if that wasn't the case, but that you can like look inside and see everything. That's like on display here too. And we can set up a pay shoot here during the summer. I already asked. This whole area is legally mine once I sign the contract. We can set up tables, parasols. That sounds really nice. How much does it cost? What the fuck is happening for my mouth? My mouth is always... okay, I should finish that sentence. I always say weird things. Maybe you could put up some potted plants or something? Alright, now let's talk decoration. So I'm gonna have this whole place repainted. Let me guess, pink? Obviously. Anyway, this whole area is gonna be seating. The kitchen's over there, and obviously that's the counter. The only thing I'm not sure about yet is how I'll set up the seating. I want to have lots of tables, obviously, but I don't want to cram people in here like sorry. Oh my god, how do you pronounce it? Sardinen. Sardinen. Everyone should feel comfortable here, like they have some space to themselves. And I'm probably gonna hire an interior decorator to give me some ideas on how to make this place feel, I don't know, brighter. Natsuki walks me through the place, gushing about each and every room. I try my best to give input where I can, but it's obvious that she's thought more about this than I ever could. Still, if it's going to be her place, I figure I should be familiar with it. Once she's given me the full tour, Natsuki turns to me. You'll be there very frequently, probably. So, now that you've seen the whole thing, what do you think? I think you've already done your homework. This place looks like it has everything you'll need. It's a good location, nice clean and good shape. And you're happy with this? If you're happy with this, I say go for it. Natsuki looks around once more as if giving the place a final inspection. Yeah, I think I am. I guess I'll make the call then. Apparently, I can have it by the end of the month if the check clears. Natsuki giggles nervously, and I grab her hand. It looks great. You're gonna do amazing things here, okay? It's still kind of overwhelming, you know? Like, just a couple weeks ago, I was still in high school. Heck, this time last year, I was still living with my dad, and I hadn't even met you. Everything's changed now. Just like there's nothing left from my old life anymore. But it's changed for the better, right? Isn't this good? Well, yeah, of course it is. It's just... I wish I had one thing that I could recognize. Just one thing to keep me grounded. Well, I know it's not that for you yet, but this could be that thing. It's yours, after all. Yeah, I guess that's as good as anything. Natsuki slowly walks over to the wall and places a hand on it. My own place. I think I like the sound of that. Natsuki looks back and smiles at me and smiles. Yeah, I think this is gonna be good. I'm woken up by a loud thump from downstairs. Immediately after, I hear Natsuki's voice shouting something I can't quite identify. Torn between my desire to stay in bed and concern for my girlfriend, I listen carefully for another minute. There's no more noise. Good, that means I'm off the hook. I turn to my alarm clock and find that I have exactly 8 minutes before I have to get up. With an exasperated sigh, I get up and preemptively disable the alarm. Oh god. A few minutes later, I head downstairs to find my kitchen disarray. Morning! I take a minute to pull myself together, still shocked at the state of the room. Natsuki, what happened here? Oh, you noticed that, huh? Noticed? It looks like a bomb went off in here. Are you okay? Hey, I've seen what you're like in the morning. I figured there was at least a 50% chance this would go right over your head. Anyway, everything's fine. I just got up a little later than I wanted, so I've kind of been in a rush to catch up ever since. I'll have it all cleaned up by the time you get home from school, okay? Oh no, it's lagging. Did it? Okay. Right, I completely forgotten about Natsuki's order. I shrug. Nah, that's alright. Just make sure you get the order ready on time. I can clean the kitchen later if I need to. Oh, alright. Still, I'll try my best not to leave you with the mess. Well, that's kind of you. Anyway, I've got to get going. See you when I get home? Maybe. I don't know how long this order's gonna take. First one, you know. Alright. Well, I'll see you when I see you. Before I can react, Natsuki dashes up to me and gives me a tight hug. I instinctively return the gesture, feeling my arms and face pick up a layer of flour. Whoops! I laugh, slapping the flour off. Gee, thanks. Now I have something to remember you by. Meh, you're always a mess. That's alright, nobody will even notice. I hope not, because I don't have time to get cleaned up. Alright, I've really got to go now. Good luck with your order. I tried to clean myself off as much as possible on the way to Sayori's. I'm not sure how much good I'm doing. No matter how many times I brush off the flour, there seems to be a new cloud forming off me with every step. Hi, Ben! Sarah meets me outside with her trademark smile. What's that in your hair? Sarah rubs my head, and another puff of flour shakes free. My hair? How did it get in my hair? Do you know how flour works? If it gets near you, it will be everywhere. And it will be in your hair too. Natsuki barely comes up to my shoulders. It doesn't matter! It will get there! Sorry, bit of an accident in the kitchen this morning. Oh. Hey, at least there was no fire involved, right? There was only the one time. Alright. Sorry, it's just an easy target. That's alright. I walk down the street, my heart sings as I pick up on Sayori's silence. Sayori? Something wrong? Of course not, silly! I really wish you wouldn't do that. Look, if it's about the fire joke, I'm sorry. Sayori shakes her head. No, it's nothing like that. Well, what is it? Maybe we can do something to help. Sayori doesn't respond. I decide to keep walking in silence for a few seconds. Learn that sometimes she'll open up more if you give her time. Hey, Ben. Do you remember our talk the other day? The thing you wanted me to do? The other day? You mean on Monday? When I asked you about talking to somebody? Sayori nods, still not making eye contact. Well, I talked it over with Monica yesterday. She's been trying to get me to go for a while too. Anyway, I think I'm going to give it a try. I mean, anything if it'll help, right? Stop in my tracks. Of course, this is the outcome I wanted, but I guess I didn't expect it to actually work. Do you really mean that? I think I do. Without thinking, I run up and hug Sayori. Ah! This is great! I'm so proud of you, Sayori! Thanks, Ben. You know, I really appreciate everything you've done for me. I know I don't always show it. Sayori's embrace loosens slightly. You don't need to apologize. I'm just glad you're getting the help you need, if it works. I mean it. All I want is for you to be okay. Okay. I move to pull away from Sayori. As I do, her arms suddenly tighten around me. Wait! Just a little longer. Please. Sayori... Okay. This isn't easy. Belling Sayori's need for support with being faithful to Natsuki is driving me crazy. You can hug somebody while being in a relationship. I don't think she'd appreciate this very much, but... talk to her about it, that this is how your friendship with Sayori is. You will hug. You will touch. It's okay. Some friendships are like that. Sayori's never asked for something like this before. I couldn't turn her down after what I just said. Thanks. Alright, let's go to school! Sayori runs ahead of me, suddenly full of energy. Slow down! Speed up! Sayori giggles and keeps running. I roll my eyes and pick up the pace. After school, I head to the literature club as usual. To my surprise, and also concern, the door is closed and the lights are off. Nobody's inside. Trying the door, I find it locked. place is empty. The door is locked and everything. Your piece inside the classroom, seemingly looking for an explanation inside. Monica and Siri only said they were canceling yesterday's meeting. That's what I thought. And the note doesn't explain the situation. The note? Glance at the door. Sure enough, there's a sticky note attached to it. I grabbed the note. Hey guys, we're having club outside today! There's an address written on the bottom. Apparently we're meeting somewhere else. Sorry, I didn't even see that there. No, I should apologize. I just assumed you read it already. Do you know why we're going out for a meeting? I shrug. I guess it has something to do with that surprise Monica mentioned. We'll have to go and see. Following the directions of the note, you and I come to a familiar location. I must admit, I didn't think we'd be meeting here again so soon. Yeah, I keep finding myself coming back here these days. Oh well. At least it's close to home. Do you see Monica or Sayori anywhere? No. Wait, yes! Over there, under that tree. A few seconds later, the four of us are gathered under the shade of a large tree. Hey guys, glad you found my note. Sarah's starting to get worried about you. Yeah. To tell the truth, I completely missed it. Yuri had to point it out to me. Sorry, I didn't have anything bigger to write it on. But you're here now, and that's the important thing. I feel like my Monica voice is off. Oh yes, well, we're having our meeting here today. Well, I appreciate the scenery. I don't believe we've ever met officially outside of the clubroom before. It's a secret! You'll have to wait until she gets here! She? Who else is coming? Sarah gasped loudly. Oh no! I was supposed to say that! Sorry, Monica. It's fine, Sayori. In fact, I do believe our special guest is here even as we speak. We all spin around to look where Monica's pointing. A short figure obscured by the stack of cardboard boxes they're carrying is wobbling slowly towards us. Maybe I got a bit carried away. Ben, do you think you can give her a hand? Sure thing. Yeah, it's clearly Natsuki. I get a move to help this struggling figure. Here, let me help you with those. Thanks. Careful, they're delicate. You've got them. How are you not noticing your voices? You're couples. I lift the top half of the stack. Thanks. I don't know who ordered so many. Ben? What are you doing here? The literature club's going on a field trip today, apparently. What are you doing here? Delivering the order, of course. Apparently there's some event here that they need a bunch of freshly baked goods for. I think I see what's going on here. Here, why don't you set those down for a sec? Hey, Monica? I raise my voice so Monica can hear me clearly. Want to come over here and explain what's going on? Monica! Hey, Natsuki. It's been a while. Did you seriously buy something off my website just so you could talk to me face to face? No, not just for that. Monica gets down on her knees and starts opening the boxes to inspect the treats inside. Which one is it? Aha, here it is! Monica grabs a cupcake from one particular box and hands it to Natsuki. Natsuki takes the cupcake and inspects it. It has the words "I'm sorry" written in icing around in a frowny face. Monica, did you seriously pay me to make my own apology cupcake? Oh, I do see how that would come across a bit. Oh man, this might be the dumbest thing you've ever done, Monica! Hey, I'm making a genuine effort, okay? So if it comes across poorly, but I just wanted to let you know I'm sorry I hurt you. Oh, I get the message. Don't worry about that. I guess it's kind of sweet. In an oblivious sort of way. So yeah. I forgive you, or whatever. But you know, you didn't have to spend all this money to get me here. Just the cupcakes would have been enough. Most of this stuff is gonna go to waste. Monica smiles wryly. Actually, it won't. See, I kind of thought words wouldn't be enough to convey how sorry I was, so I decided to show you that I really do believe in you, Natsuki. So, consider this a little jumpstart from the literature club. Jumpstart? Monica gently grabs Natsuki's shoulder and spins her around. Sarah and Yuri are standing in front of a table with a banner above them. In bright letters matching the style of Natsuki's cupcakes, it reads, "Free samples from Sweet Beginnings." Monica? Monica wanted to help you get the word out about your bakery. She figured advertising would be the hardest part since everyone says their own stuff is the best. So we decided we'd let everyone see for themselves how good Sweet Beginnings is. That's right. After all, one of the cardinal rules of literature is show, don't tell. Figure it was a good advice for business too. Boys, you didn't have to. You shouldn't just put the goods out like all scattered like that. This is my bakery after all. It's gotta have flair. Natsuki sprints to the stand with her head down and spends several minutes rearranging the display. To her credit, it does look much more appealing when she's done. But I can't help noticing she keeps her face turned away from us the entire time. When she's finished, she takes a breath and turns around. There! That's more like it! You're right. That looks much better. With everything settled, you and I work the stand while the others socialize. They objected at first, but once we pointed out that each of them had contributed to this event, while the two of us had done nothing, the argument was essentially over. So, Natsuki, how are things coming along? Actually, it's going pretty well. I've got the website up, I've picked the location, got most of my menu and pricing figured out. It's been a lot of work, though. Ben and I have barely seen each other these past few weeks. Or, at least we've seen a lot less of each other. And I haven't really had any time for anyone else. Really? Like Yuri said she visited you over the weekend. Yeah, but that's it. Aside from that one day, I haven't spent time with anyone but Ben since. Well, you know. But it's fine. I knew things were gonna be hectic at first. And they probably won't slow down for a while. But I'm really looking forward to the point where I can keep regular hours. Well, I'm proud of you. A choice like this takes conviction, and it seems like you've got that in spades. As the conversation continues on, I turn to Yuri. It's a nice day, so lots of people are at the park. Park? I think I said polk. That means we're pretty busy handing out these free samples. But that's actually a pretty good way to really just advertise a bakery. I think people will get interested about that. I'm pouring myself some tea. But when there's a quiet moment, I strike up a conversation. It's good to see that Monica and Natsuki have patched things up. Indeed. It's nice that we can all be together like this. One last time. One last time? What do you mean by that? Well, Natsuki left the club. Well, yeah, but that doesn't have to be the end of things. I mean, we can all come visit her from time to time, right? Not everything has to be official club activity, you know? I like that very much, but I think Natsuki's going to be very busy for me. Before long, we're going to have exams too. Right, but after that we'll be graduating. I don't know what everyone's plans are, but it seems unlikely that we'll all stay here. We may even leave the country to study abroad, as much as I wish otherwise. I think this may be our last time together as a group. Wow, I never thought about it like that. I don't know why. Obviously, you and Monica would have plans for after school, at the very least. Thinking that this could be it for the literature club, a real profound sense of loss. But still, no. I said no. I don't accept that, Yuri. We've come too far, been through too much together to just let it end like this. You, all of you, you're like family to me. Maybe you will leave. Maybe you'll never set foot in this town again. But even so, I can't accept that this is the end. I don't know what the future is going to bring. But whatever happens, I want you to know that there'll always be a place for you in my life. And for Monica and for Sayori. And I'd like to think that you feel the same way. It gives me a strange look. You know, you've come a long way, Ben. You certainly weren't as old when you first joined the club. Well, I guess you're rubbing off on me. Perhaps so. In any case, you're right. I don't want to say goodbye either. And if the others feel that way, then this doesn't have to be the end. Perhaps just a new chapter. A new chapter for the literature club, huh? Seems fitting. I'm so for being so dismal. I'm not used to people choosing to be around me. Usually they take the first opportunity to. But I'm glad that's not happening with you. Well, I'm glad you were wrong for once. I've been wrong far more than that. Suddenly, straightens and turns to face the stand. Instinctively, I follow her lead to find a well-dressed woman approaching us. afternoon. Good afternoon. Sweet beginnings. Is that a new bakery? I have no idea what to do for her. Yes, that's right. We're passing our promotional samples. Would you care to try anything? The woman casts a careful eye over the assortment of sweets. Finally, she points to a stack of lemon bars to my left. There, the lemon bars. May I have one? Certainly. I take the pair of tongs and pass her a bar. She accepts it, then takes a bite and chews thoughtfully. This is quite good. May I try something else? What would you like? This time the woman answers immediately. The date squares here. There. Once again, I pass her the requested treat and wait as she chews. When she's finished, she smiles faintly. You know, your baker is quite talented. Sorry, I've just been a bit paranoid about specific AI things. So I'm kind of currently wondering, especially because the style is like something that AI has the tendency to use. I'm not going to immediately just accuse them of that though. I'll check through the credits. I've just been paranoid because I accidentally listened to an AI song recently. Like, it was everything made by a human except for the voice. And so I didn't take notice of it at first. You know, your baker is quite talented. Are you two official representatives of the company? I guess we're only here to pass out samples. If we have questions, then I address them to the owner. I can get a thing if you wish. Mercifully, Yuri jumps in before I can make a fool out of myself. The woman's eyes turn to Yuri. Please do. Yuri turns to get Natsuki without another word, leaving me alone with the customer. I consider trying to make small talk, but the woman's eyes simply follow Yuri as she retreats Natsuki. Deciding she doesn't seem bothered by the silence, I opt to keep quiet. Hello, ma'am. I was told you might have some questions for me. The woman raises a skeptical eyebrow. You're the owner? Oh my god, okay. Owner and head baker, yes. Nice touch, Natsuki. Head baker sounds a lot more impressive than sole employee. Technically, it's not even a lie. Still, the woman appears unconvinced. Alright. Well, I take it you offer catering services? Sweet Beginnings is happy to bake for any occasion. What can we help you with? Natsuki's been practicing her customer service voice for days. A wise choice, giving her passionate responses to provocation. My daughter's bat mitzvah is coming up in a few weeks. There was an issue with our usual caterer, and we've had to cancel. We'll need light refreshment for approximately 150 people. 100? 150. Will that be a problem? No, not at all! Sweet Beginnings is proud to serve at all events of all sizes. Good, because we have certain standards to uphold in our family. There will be a number of important guests in attendance, so it's important that there are no issues with the food, in quantity or quality. We promise to deliver quality items to each event. If what you see here is satisfactory, then I personally guarantee there will be no issues for your daughter's bat mitzvah. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Excellent. In that case, please bring a sample platter to this address at 2 in the afternoon this Saturday. My family will decide whether or not to use your services and discuss the menu with you. You'll be compensated for all of this, of course. The two of them briefly discuss options, then exchange cards. When she leaves, Natsuki begins to tremble. Hey, are you alright? Did that really just happen? Oh, it happened. You did great. I think she was really impressed. But are you sure you can bake for that many people? Well, we're gonna have to! It's not too late to cancel. Lots of other people enjoyed your food. You probably got dozens of new customers. I freeze, suddenly realizing what Natsuki just said. Wait a second. What do you mean, we? She meant we! I mean the two of us, obviously! You said you were gonna support me, didn't you? Well, yeah, but... then... this is a really big deal for me. And I'll need your help if I'm going to pull it off! Look, of course I'll help you if that's what you want. But are you sure I'm, you know, up to the challenge? Like she said, she's gonna have high expectations. I don't want to screw things up for you. I think it'll be okay as long as I do all the complicated stuff. You're not completely helpless anymore. I roll my eyes and playfully punch Natsuki in the shoulder. Maybe I'll just stay out of your way and see how things turn out without my help. How's that sound? Well then, maybe I'll be so heartbroken I'll never bake anything again. You'd have to live off store-bought cupcakes for the rest of your life. I gasped at Makora. You wouldn't! Well, if you help me out with this, we'll never have to find out. Alright, you win. So, everyone's anticipation of the answer to my next question. Exactly how early am I gonna have to get up? Oh, you can sleep in as late as you want. Well, really? That's really nice of you, but I can get up a bit earlier if it'll help. The day before! The job date this calls for an all-nighter. Ouch. I walked right into that one, didn't I? Yep! Seriously though, you should try and get a good night's sleep before. We will need it. I've never actually had to do that much baking before. I can't promise how long it'll take. One or two mistakes early on can really screw things up down the line, so I want to give myself lots of extra time. This is gonna take a while, isn't it? If you really need to, you can take a quick nap halfway through to keep your energy up. I don't think I'll need you around for every single second. No, that's alright. If you have to stay up all night, then the least I can do is join you in solidarity. The baking itself isn't something I'm too worried about. I enjoy working with Natsuki. Even though I'm sure it'll be more stressful than usual, I'm actually really excited to share her first big order with her. It's the day after that I'm mostly worried about. It's a school day, that could be really rough. I guess I just have to hope the event happens on a Saturday. Thanks. But you'd better get some rest if you need it. Last thing I want is some half-asleep zombie bumbling around in my kitchen. Smelled Natsuki's transparent attempt to disguise her concern. As you wish. Whatever you think is the most helpful. A few hours later, the crowds have dwindled and the sun sinks low in the sky. Okay, everyone. I think we've handed out pretty much all the free samples we're going to. I like the sun setting. So it's probably best that everyone heads home for the night. Wait! There's still so much stuff left over. Won't be right to make Natsuki carry it all home. Oh? Are you offering to take some of my hands, Sayori? You know me. I'm always happy to help a friend. Hey, by all means, those are Monica's. She paid for them after all. Unfortunately, my bag's already overloaded. I guess I have Sayori carry some home for me after all. Yes! Sir grabs a box, collects a handful of items, and turns to head home. Bye, everyone! After bidding farewell to Sayori, Yuri timidly approaches Monica. I don't suppose you're still overloaded. Were you also hoping to bring some home, Yuri? Well, I think there's just enough left for me to bring home about a quarter. So why don't we divide the rest equally? That seems fair. Yeah, I can live with that. You have to live with that! Once we're home, Natsuki and I collapse on the couch. Man, that was a day, huh? Yeah, no kidding. Must have been even crazier for you, baking all morning. It was good practice, if nothing else. Hey, did you really not know about the whole plan? I raised my hands in innocence. I had no idea. I was as surprised as you were. Yeah, that makes sense. That whole idea had Monica written all over it. Is that... I don't know how I'm supposed to take that. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What thing is it? Seriously, getting me to beg for my own apology? Well, at least her heart was in the right place. Yeah, I know. It's just kind of funny, that's all. Natsuki shifts, her eyebrows furrowing. Hey Ben, did you notice anything weird about Sayori today? I hesitate before answering. The only really weird thing I can think of was her decision to go to therapy. But it's not really my place to share that, is it? Nope, it's not. In the end, I decided to play it safe. Weird like what? Just like she wasn't comfortable around me. I don't know, it almost felt like she was upset with me or something, but she didn't want to show it. There was like still a lingering level of jealousy, maybe. That's still left over. Because Sayori is a human being and capable of human emotions that include jealousy. It's so weird. She didn't even do that when we started going out. Why would... I fumbled, trying my best to play things cool. Why would she have done that when we started dating? Nels gives me a look halfway between a glare and a pitying glance. Come on, Ben! You must have picked up on how she feels about you by now. Even you're not that dense. I winced, remembering how oblivious I was to the signs that are incredibly obvious in retrospect. Heck, Monica basically told me alright, and I still didn't get it. You'd be surprised. But yeah, I have known for a while. Just didn't realize you had too. Ben, you're practically all she talks about. The rest of us have pretty much had her figured out before you even joined the club. When you finally showed up and we saw how she acted around you, let's just say our suspicions were confirmed pretty quickly. And none of you decided to tell me. Things probably would have been easier for everyone if I'd just known what was going on from the start. Then again, considering how we reacted to Monica's explanation, maybe it wouldn't have mattered after all. You think you would have missed even that much? Well, no, of course not. She wasn't ready to tell you about it. None of us were about to force the issue. Like, that's something, like, that's Sayori's confession. It's for her to decide when and if she's going to confess. Like, that's her, for her to decide. Not for anybody else. Then we had the festival and things kind of happened really quickly between us. And talking to Sayori about it got awkward all of a sudden. Wait! Natsuki suddenly stiffens, her back straightening as she leans away from me. Are you saying you thought I did know how she felt about you the whole time? This whole time? Well, yeah. I guess when you put it like that, it's kind of obvious. And you've been just hanging out with her like nothing's wrong? Wait, hang on. Why are you upset with me? You knew this whole time, so it's not like you have a problem with us spending time together. I'm upset because I thought we were on the same page. I thought we both knew what was going on and we were both okay with it. But you thought you were going behind my back and keeping it a secret. When she says it like that, I see how it must look. Yeah, it doesn't sound all that great. For some reason, I just assumed if Natsuki knew how Sayori felt, that must be the end of it. But I guess the way I acted was... well, pretty stupid. It's nothing... it's not like that. I didn't mean to go behind your back or anything. Then why didn't you tell me how Sayori felt about you before now? That's a pretty big thing to keep to yourself. I don't have a good answer. I can't trust someone who does that kind of thing, Ben. And clearly I don't think you can trust me either. Wait, what? Where did you get that idea? I mean, it seems like you were basically like the whole time thinking, oh my god, she's going to take this the wrong way and stuff, right? Then it's like, it makes sense that it kind of like feels like you didn't trust them. That person. You could have told me how she felt, but you didn't trust that I'd be able to handle it. She's your best friend. I wouldn't have stopped you from seeing her after all this time. And it's not like she's the type of to steal her friend's boyfriend. But you chose not to tell me. Suddenly occurs to me that Natsuki still doesn't have the full picture. I mean, there is still the thing of like... Wait, Natsuki, yeah! I bite my lip, trying to decide what I should say. Do I explain Sayori's situation to Natsuki now? No, this is for Sayori to decide. It's just how you shouldn't have told Monika. Like, Monika didn't have the full picture about why it was important for Natsuki to start up the bakery immediately, right? And you shouldn't be telling her about her money problems, essentially, either. Only if there's, like, some really important reason. And a really important reason isn't just that it means something, like, it's important that it means, if it means something to the other person. If it's important context, it of course is just kind of important. But like that's still a situation where you just like share something like that with them. I don't have her permission, but Natsuki's really upset about this. It seems like no matter what I do, I'm betraying someone I care about. But in the end, I have to tell Natsuki the truth. Sarah doesn't even have to know, does she? You keep writing yourself deeper. Look, it's more complicated than that. Remember Sarah came over to my house the day before the festival? You know, when we were inside and you... Yeah? What about it? Well, that was the first time I'd seen... It wasn't the first time I'd seen her that day. Do you remember Friday? She was acting really weird and you told me not to read too much into it. Yeah? Where's this going? Well, before you came over, I went to check on her. And with that, I tell Natsuki everything that happened that day. The thing with situations like those is... I would never do that to someone that the other person also knows. Sometimes... Like, when you care about a person, their struggles can affect you. But I avoid talking to someone that the person that's struggling knows. Because it really is just going behind their back. I would usually, if I'm telling something like that, talk about it to someone I don't know. Because usually I do still ask beforehand, and usually there isn't much of a too big problem as long as I keep maybe some things out, or as long as it's really like this person... The chance of them meeting one another isn't too high. Or there's no way to kind of link those people together. It's the same as with online. I am allowed to talk about quite a lot of things because it would be difficult to link us together. About Sarah's depression, her trouble finding motivation, and ultimately how she confessed to me and I turned her down. I found myself getting worked up and have to compose myself multiple times before I'm finished. Once I've said everything, a silence hangs in the air. She was serious? Huh? Back when I first joined the club, I was having some issues. She helped me talk through how I was feeling. You know, like she does. Anyway, I asked her how she knew so much about all this. And she said she had depression. I didn't think she was serious, you know? Once again, that was one of the things. Natsuki doesn't show any signs of really acknowledging that Sayori has depression in, like, the main game, because that never happened in the main game. And to kind of make up for that, I'm guessing, they kind of now just have to act like Natsuki is just also, like, a very dense and oblivious person who thinks Sayori would just say something like that. I mean, it's Sayori! You know how she sometimes says things that aren't really accurate. Man, do I feel like a jerk? Yeah, join the club. Jerk isn't a strong enough word for what I felt like after Sayori told me everything. For weeks, I kept remembering ways I'd mistreated her, or warning signs I'd completely ignored. Alright, I guess I understand why you didn't want to tell me. You need to be there for her as a friend, and you didn't want to risk me getting in the way. It was still a bona thing to do, but I guess I can see where you're coming from. You should have... The thing with this is... It's a difficult situation. Once again, I don't exactly blame the MC. I just think there should have been a different way to handle it. Because that really is just going... Like, even though Sayori told Natsuki, he wasn't aware of that. So it's still a betrayal of trust. The problem, once again, is it's difficult. Like, Natsuki, would she have accepted it if he asked for a moment to... ask something, or maybe just explain it like not accurately, and that maybe he's able to explain other things to her in the future, but it kind of just has to be this way, or for him to just loosely explain things And given that Natsuki had heard the thing before, she might be able to also piece things together from her end. Of course, he doesn't know that. But just telling someone those things really isn't a good idea if they know the person and you don't have any type of permission that you're allowed to do it. Because even if Natsuki does now know, he didn't know that Natsuki knows, and due to that, this is just an act of betrayal. Just don't ever pull anything like this again! I won't, I promise. Anyway, this morning Sarah told me she was planning to start seeing a professional. She's been really anxious about taking that step. Do you think that could be it? Honestly, I doubt it. Like I said, it almost felt like she was upset with me, but she just couldn't face it. It's like it hurts her just look at me. It hurt just looking at me. That's so weird. And she was never like that before? Never! It makes no sense. Think back to this morning, trying to remember anything different about Sayori. When I realized what must have happened, I feel like an idiot. The flower. Huh? Why would she be upset by a flower? Not a flower. Flower. The flower I picked up when you hugged me goodbye. Said some on me when I met up with Sayori this morning. Natsuki looks at the ground as she realizes where I'm going with this. She realized. Sarah knew you were baking for the event today. So when I left the house, she must have known you were with me. And with it being so early in the morning, she must have figured out you're living with me. Either that, or she just thinks I spent the night. I've never been in her place, but man, that's gotta hurt. Should we go check on her or something? Explain what's going on? I don't know. I'm not so sure she'd want to see us right now. Yeah, maybe you're right. It's just, I don't feel right ignoring her. I feel like I should be doing something to make things better. Don't do something just to make yourself feel better, Ben. If there's something you really think would help her, we can do that. But otherwise, you just have to suck it up and let her work through this for herself. I sigh. Natsuki's right, of course, which also means that once again, forget it. I've talked about it enough. Anything I do now would be to make myself feel better, not Sayori. And if I'm really trying to do what's best for her, I've no choice but to trust that she can handle this. Thanks, Natsuki. That was some pretty good advice. Yeah, I know! Things would be a lot better if people listened to me more often. I put my arm around Natsuki. Probably. As Natsuki leans against me, I ponder the day's events. Even if I'm upset we accidentally hurt Sayori, I think it was a good day. Repairing the rift in the literature club was a load off my mind. Maybe it'll even help Sayori too, considering how much the fight upset her. Yeah, I think today was okay. That's a good way to look at it. It was an okay day. Act 3! Serve! Hey, watch it! That doesn't belong right there. Move it against the wall. Careful! That's fragile! Step into sweet beginnings and immediately I'm greeted to a scene of barely restrained chaos. There must have been 12 workers here bringing in tables, chairs, decorations, and everything else a cafe needs. In the middle of it all, Natsuki dashes about, giving orders to keep things going. Well, if not smoothly, then at least productively. When she sees me, her face immediately brightens. Hey Ben! What are you doing here? I came to see if I could help you help out at all. And if not, to see if my girlfriend had time for a lunch break. Not a chance on a lunch break! But if you're willing to work, we've still got tables and chairs to set up. I'm all over it. I move to a stack of chairs and begin setting them around the table. So, are things looking good for tomorrow? Tomorrow's officially our grand opening, or at least it was supposed to be. Natsuki wanted everything set up in a week in advance, but delay after delay pushed that back. Till now, when we're still getting furnished the day before. Until now, we're still getting furnished the day before, okay. It'll have to be. Advertise this as our opening for weeks. We can't change the schedule now. Fortunately, things are finally starting to come together. That's good to hear. What about you? How are you holding up? Stressed, excited, terrified, pretty much what you'd expect. And odd. Natsuki's online business was a modest success. The bat mitzvah went extremely well. Oh, we're not going to hear anything of it, okay. And quite a few people there asked her for information. Following that, she received a steady stream of orders on her website. Unfortunately, our kitchen isn't really set up for a commercial enterprise. And taking the bus isn't exactly the best delivery system either. We're both hoping that having a brick and mortar location will make things easier on Natsuki. Hey, put that down! Natsuki turns away from me and shouts at one of the workers. The poor worker! I wince, glad I'm not on the receiving end of her wrath this time. This poor person! They're just trying to do their job. Except that Natsuki doesn't really have time to chat right now. I turn around and keep setting up chairs. Later that day, I wish Natsuki good luck and head home. She's made it clear that she'll be out for a while more, so I decide to cook dinner once again. This time I planned ahead and went grocery shopping on my way home, so I know exactly what's in stock. Found some nice fillets of salmon at a good price, and immediately looked up recipes. Now it's just a matter of timing it correctly. Once Natsuki tells me that she's about an hour away, I get started. When the door opens, I'm just seconds away from serving. Man, what a day. I gently nudge Sayori with my elbow. Yeah, it must have been hard work bossing all those people around. Hey, it was! Every time I took my eye off them for a second, one of them would find something to screw up. But it was all worth it. You should see it, Ben. It looks amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Now sit down. Dinner's almost ready. Natsuki eagerly jumps into a chair at the table. Sorry, I'm moving my sock around. It's kind of distracting me. But like my sock is kind of turned weirdly. You better be careful. I could get used to coming home to a home-cooked meal. Oh yeah? Should I be a stay-at-home boyfriend then? I could get a cute little apron tour around the house as I cooked and cleaned. How about... No. As much as I like the idea of a live-in servant, you should probably aim for something a little bit more ambitious. What if he wants to do it? Nothing wrong with wanting to be a stay-at-home partner, it's just not very sustainable with the current economy. But if you can somehow afford it and you want it, both of you are fine with it. The partner who is supposed to be the stay-at-home partner wants to be the stay-at-home partner, and the other person is like, okay, that works. Might be good for this and that, and so on and so forth. If you have like an agreement, what's wrong? It is pretty ambitious. Cleaning is like hard work. And cooking. I have a friend who enjoys cleaning. How? I don't understand. I wish you would come over more often so you could clean for me. Probably for the best. I suck at cleaning anyway. Me too! That's why I need my friend. A few minutes later, Natsuki and I are enjoying our dinner together. You know, I have to give you credit for one thing. You're a fast learner. When I first met you, you could barely make an edible bowl of porridge. But now it seems like you can't screw up in the kitchen. I shrug. Do my best. Just makes me happy to have something nice for you when you come home. Thanks. It's nice for me too. You're really good to me. I hope it's worth it. I'm not sure what you mean. Of course it's worth it, why wouldn't it be? I mean, with the bakery and everything, you're spending all this energy and time so I can get it up and running. I want to be able to do stuff to make your life easier when this is all done. That was the whole point, wasn't it? So you wouldn't have to scrounge around for bottles all day. If this doesn't work out, all your work will be for nothing. And I still won't be able to repay you. Natsuki frowns, poking the food at her plate. Look, Natsuki, I don't think you're looking at this the right way. This isn't just about you. I'm doing all this for us. For our future together. Right now you're working hard at starting something new. So I'm picking up the slack back home. If it doesn't work out, that'll be disappointing, but it's not like you aren't working just as hard. And who knows? I'm about to graduate. Maybe in a few months, it'll be you supporting me as I go through school or whatever. The point is, you shouldn't get so hung up on what I'm doing for you or what you're doing for me. We're a team, right? We're both working hard for us. Everything you're saying makes sense. But I just can't help feeling like I'm just that weight. I nod. Can see how Natsuki could feel that way. Everything she's done has been for some theoretical future benefit. We don't actually have anything to show for it in the here and now. But still, I wish I could help her see things differently. I get it. But all I can say is that I don't see it that way. I'm glad we're together. Even if this whole bakery thing doesn't pan out. I'd still do it all over again if it meant having you in my life. So, I guess in that sense, it's already worth it. Natsuki smiles, embarrassed. Thanks, Ben. I love you. I love you too. But tomorrow's a big day for me. I'm gonna have to get up really early to make sure nothing goes wrong. Heading to bed then? Sorry. Can you handle the dishes? I can, but there's something I need from you first. What is it? Instead of answering, I just opened my arms in an invitation for a hug. Natsuki grins, shaking her head as she walks over. You're so corny. But you like it. You're into this corny man. Natsuki steps forward and puts her arms around me, burying her face in my chest. I squeeze her softly in return. So corny. Natsuki repeats herself once more. Oh yeah? What about when I do this? I tilt my head down and kiss Natsuki on the top of her head. She giggles and responds without pulling away. Oh, absolutely. Maximum corniness. Corn overload. Well, I don't see you running away. I never said it was a bad thing, but it is corny. I really do have to go to bed. Thanks for the dream material though. As Natsuki, small Natsuki, heads upstairs, I get started on the dishes. It's hours before my usual bedtime, so in the back of my mind, I try to decide what to do. Video games and anime are too loud. I might wake Natsuki. I could leave the volume down, but it somehow just feels depressing when I do that. I briefly considered checking out Sayori, but we haven't really spent much time together recently. I mean, you could text her, ask her if it's okay if you want to come over. Ever since the flower incident, it feels like she's avoiding me. That makes me nervous, but I don't want to go see her if it's going to cause her pain. I've asked Monica to keep tabs on her, so I'll have to trust that that's enough. Natsuki would kill me if I read ahead in our newest manga. Which just leaves one thing. Studying. With the word going, I resign myself to my fate. Life can be so cruel.